Welcome to the Red, White, and You podcast, brought to you by Bank Solar with Allen American's head coach, Steve Martinson. Marty, a big weekend here coming up. Just looking here at the standings and games in hand, and we pretty much only Jacksonville, of all the teams playing 72 games this year, only Jacksonville has played fewer games. You look at Wichita, who's played 31. Utah has played 31. So just looking at, example, Utah this weekend, you take 2 out of 3 or all 3, you really have a chance to put some separation in between you and the teams behind you.
Well, the other critical thing, even more important than that, I mean, Wichita's played 19 home games and we've played 9, and our home record, when we make up those 10 road home games, I expect to be climbing to the top of the standings and, we're healthy. We've got a lot of guys back now. We got the 8 guys off of COVID, got both our goaltenders. So, I'm expecting to start running up the standings again.
And yeah, the last time we were in there, obviously we had some guys out for different reasons. So you get a chance to see what, our best lineup looks like against these guys. And, the one area that they've struggled of late has been goaltending. Is, they have not been getting the solid net minding that you would need to win games.
Yeah. And I mean, we have a ton of depth now. I mean, we've got 4 lines that can score. And like I said, I'm expecting to start steamrolling teams again. You look at the unfortunate thing, when you look at Greenville, we scored enough goals to win, the third game, but, guys that had played for us in the past, we just made boneheaded defensive plays to give up easy scoring chances. I couldn't have been more frustrated with that loss. But like I said, I mean, now we're getting everybody back. We're healthy, and it's time to start churning the wins.
Well, good to see Mitchin in the last game, scored a pair of goals. And, even though he missed a lot of time, due to injury, illness, he's still right up there, in our team in points, obviously, but in the league, if you look at his name is still there, despite the fact he's missed some time. So you would think if he can get his game going here offensively, that that is going to be him and Mackin are just a great 1-2 punch.
Well, so now Mitchum is playing with Gareffa, and that line had 3 goals, and then the another line had 2 goals with LeBerge and Franklin and Bleakley. So our leading scoring line was held off the scoreboard. So that's what you're looking for when your top scoring line isn't scoring. You've got, but it's a little bit deceptive because Gareffa hasn't played as many games, and Topping's better than a point a game. So like I said, I expect to have 4 lines that can score at any game that we play now. And
Samuelburge, interesting guy. Of recent times he's had a couple multi-goal games. It's like I remember him telling me earlier in the year he was frustrated because it seemed like he was hitting a lot of posts, but now those shots are starting to go in for him.
Yeah, and plus, he shows in practice, and at the beginning of the year, you saw the kind of skill that he had, and we had at times we had him and Dyson and Lamon playing against the other team's top line. So, he's one of the guys that you try to play against the other team's good players because he's smart, he's solid defensively, and he's very, very physical. So he can counterpunch with scoring, and he can run you through the boards.
Marty, I saw a name that popped up in the transactions the other day, a name very well, Garrett Hunt. I remember him obviously from that trip to Alaska a few years ago. He's just one of those guys that, when you play against him, he's going to be trying to get everybody's head. But are you surprised after some time away, he's back in the league?
Not really, because I've had teams call me, we've got a lot of guys that can fight and a lot of physical players. And I've had, even though, I think we're still at the top of the league, it's just that nobody wants to fight us. So, I've had teams call me for physical players. So, I know that there was a shortage of those guys, and we got plenty of them. And when it comes down to playoff time, these guys that are good players, like LeBerge and Dyson and, go right down the line. We got a ton of guys that can play and are real physical and can fight. And when you get into these series, the best of 5s, those things add up.
Utah, one of the fun places to go to on the ECHL tour. I know you had a trip through there pretty quickly, but any good stories about Utah from your playing days?
Yeah, my last game that I played for Utah, I was getting traded, and I ran the goalie and they sent their tough guy out after me. And it was a guy that was a really tough guy, but he hardly played. And I said to him, he was, frothing at the mouth at the faceoff after I got out of the penalty box. And I said, "Hey, Bob, why are you so mad? If I don't run the goalie, you don't get to play." And then of course we got into a fight, but yeah, I had a good time. I actually lived there for a couple months and I liked it there.
Marty, thanks a lot. Safe travels, and let's get 6 points this weekend.
Sounds good to me. Thanks,
Yeah,
Tommy.
thanks, Marty. Bye-bye.